He awoke in a padded white room, but he was not alone. In this small, confined room there were small holes scattered throughout. What protruded from them was so horrendous it made him feel instantly ill. Bilious as he was, he could not help but to feel a slight, morbid fascination by the peculiarity of it all. From each hole a severed, decayed, yet incredibly realistic arm reached towards me, stopping just short of my body. In each of their fists he could make out the outline of a human heart. It made their hands throb as it pulsated within their hold. He did not have to count the arms to know that there were 27 hearts. He had no recollection of being placed in this room, and he had hoped it was all just a dream. He thought of the story of the telltale heart, and of the man who drove himself insane. After murdering the old man, the narrator exposed himself over his conviction, and he forced himself to be convicted. He closed his eyes sharply and wished them all away. When he opened up his eyes, he was back in his own home. His heart raced with fury, and his breathing was asthmatic. Still, he was at home and away from that cursed dream. He regained his bearings as he got himself ready for the day. Hesitantly, he turned on the news and breathed a sigh of relief when it was all quiet. If anyone had known of what he had done, then surely it would have been reported. He had a perfectly boring and normal day at home, where he pampered himself and enjoyed his favorite foods. He went to bed early, hoping to not invoke a change to what he assumed could only be one of the last of his perfect days. If something happened tomorrow, well, at least he had today. That evening he heard a rat-tat-tat on his chamber door. "Who is it?" he called. He saw a raven, but nothing more. The raven went on calling through the night, and slowly more came to his chamber door. They all looked at him quite quizzically, but he paid them no mind. "'Tis a damn murder, and nothing more." Another knock on his chamber door was met with a disarming scream. He could hear a chorus of names being called in a strange, almost cawing way. "Shoo, the lot of you! I've got nothing for you," he said bitterly. So they left one by one, naming a different name until all 27 had been called. From Hannah to Roxanne, he thought that he'd be sick. Little things like this kept occurring. Little haunts with 27 female names until he had been forced to learn them all. His mind was maddened to the point of confession by suicide note, and then he was never more. Rebecca, the creator of this experiment, watched from the other side of the glass and was pleased as the events unfolded. When he took his dying breath, she was greeted with uproarious applause. She took the VR headset off the man and held it high up in the air. This headset and his confession, proof that her theory could forcibly make anyone confess.